Uh,
Boop.
Thank you.
I used to think if I couldn't find hope, I should just let it all go, 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 go. I used to think.
Relationships often fail for many reasons: trust issues, priorities, issues with compatibility, and with online relationships, communication can become even more of a problem because so much of what we say to each other is said non-verbally. However, if one could speak through body language in a virtual environment, how does that change things? What possibilities open up when phantom touch is introduced? I decide to ask others about their experiences dating virtually and how they feel about finding love in VRChat.
I am in one currently. Yes.
I had one where we were like open. But then we know we had each other, we will support each other, we will talk about everything to each other.
Well, I'm open for that because I have a few friends that met in other games. I don't know anyone that met on VRChat per se, but I met friends that I met on World of Warcraft, Tibia, MMORPG games. Me, personally, no, but I have been asked if I want to be in one.
Yeah, I think I know that it is actually possible to have and make relationships in VR. I have met a few friends and other people that I've gotten to know who are dating and some even married for a couple of years.
I've been in several relationships on this game. I guess 5. Not really 5. Okay, so some of them are like pretty short term. Most of them are long terms.
Bex and Percent found each other in VRChat and have been dating for a while now. They opened up to me about their relationship and how it all began.
You wanna go? You start it? I'll interject.
You can go.
All right, so I was hanging out with a friend. His name's Lemons and a girl named Milk. And we were chilling in a black cat, and Lemons goes AFK for a little while, and Milk's like, hey, I'm gonna hop on a friend. So I said, I don't have anyone else to talk to. So I decide to follow her, and she went to this giant party in this drinking night. I kind of followed Milk all the way up through the crowd, and she kind of led me to her. And I didn't really know. I was just kind of like side listening to the conversation. As the night went on, we moved to another room, and my buddy got off, and we kind of started talking a little bit.
It was one of Heather's parties. She's known for throwing really, really big ones. I guess at the time, the guy I was currently VR dating, I feel really bad about it, but like I wasn't interested in him, and I knew I had to end it at the time.
She went, we need to talk, and he got really down. I was like, nah, dude, it's gonna be great. You're gonna get it. And then they leave.
Yeah. And then after that talk happened, then I joined my friend Valino again. Then I saw him, and I was like, hey, how's it going? And then it was getting to the end of the night, right? Normally you'd get off, but I was like, I don't want to get off at that. And we just started talking. And, we hit it off really well.
I think in the beginning it was just kind of,
definitely
we weren't
friendships.
Really thinking of anything. Yeah, it was friendship.
I was not ready to get into any.
She wasn't ready for anything.
Yeah. Since I was 16, I kind of made I'm not going to date online whatsoever. It's not safe. But then I got VR, and VR was such a whole different experience. The thing with VR is you actually feel like they're here. I think we're going to meet in real life before we decide if we want to date in real life.
I mean, I think if it's this good on here, it's just different faces, and we're still us. So I think it's gonna be the same thing.
I've only had like one serious one.
I met this girl on Valentine's Day because a friend of mine, the last Capri Sun, was like, hey, there's this girl and she's looking for a Valentine's date. We're chilling and he introduces me to her and things are going pretty well. We end up going to a movie world and like laying down and going to a movie. We add each other on Discord and after a while we start VRChat dating. We're dating for about maybe 2 weeks and I get a message from her. I can't quotation with this brother saying, hey, she passed out. She's in the hospital in a coma. I was like, okay, that legit. She starts talking to me again saying she has a cyst in her brain and she has to get surgery. I mean, it sounds a little sus, like your brother like texting me on Discord, but you know, to each their own. Shit's weird. World's a weird place. So she was supposed to come over to my house and stay the weekend. And she's like, okay, I'll be at your house by 4:00. Lo and behold, I get a text from her brother at 3:20 and starts accusing me of kidnapping her and he's not going to rest until I'm in jail behind bars. I'm like, okay, this escalated very quickly. And I'm laying on my couch waiting for her to get to my house. Like, this is weird. This is really weird. Is it a coincidence that her brother texts me like 30 minutes before she's supposed to get there? Static silence for about 2 days. I get a text message saying, hey, she was found on the side of the road with her car pulled over and she was sexually yeah, you know. I'm like, okay, this is way too many coincidences lining up all at once. I was talking to my friends, Bex and Percent, and a bunch of other friends, and my friend Capri goes, bro, she's in a creator's Discord right now looking for avatar parts. So your brother is on your account looking for avatar parts while you're in the hospital. Yeah. I was like, okay, that's bullshit. And after that, basically, long story short, I just stopped talking to her because, like, that's just batshit crazy.
There was a lassie that I met. It was one of those things out of the blue, right? Come in, see her, say hi to her, and we hit it off instantly, etc., etc. Day in, day out, yada yada yada. We got closer and closer, and then we started having problems about 2 or 3 months in. It was her attitude towards people, and attitude towards relationships, and how things should be dealt with. I dated her for about 2 weeks, and then I broke up with her because I couldn't trust her. There are things that you should tell somebody. Like, okay, right, for example, she used to have, oh no, she obviously has an ex, and that ex was still friends with her, right? I was fine with her being friends with her ex. Until her ex kept joining her, and all it was me sitting there listening to those two flirt with each other. I wasn't okay with that. I didn't realize he was her ex. I didn't realize he was her ex. And so she told me, and I was like, you could have told me this at the start, instead of, like, near the fucking end. Like, what the, what?
I think it can definitely work. It can be possible, but I think it requires dedication and hard work from the people involved. I haven't been in a relationship on VRChat necessarily. I've had my fair share of run-ins with various forms of romance through VRChat. I've met quite a few. I've met people that are in a relationship or that have been in a relationship. I know these people that met at about the same time that I met them, and they live pretty close to each other in the same country, and they got along pretty well. They were friends and stuff like that. And then they were like, all right, maybe we should meet up and just watch a movie. And both of them were like, we're not gonna, have this isn't a relationship thing. But they met up, they watched movies, they had a lot of fun, they hung out, and then instead of just it being an evening, the girl stayed over. They hanged out the day after, and then suddenly one evening turned into a weekend of hanging out each day, kind of sleeping over and having fun. And then they decided to get into a relationship together. Yo, I'm eating a double cheeseburger, and it has 3 patties in it for some reason.
I have 2 friends, and I love them to death, right? They've been there for me, and I like to think I've been there for them. Relationship in VR chat, they have been, they are honestly incredible. Like, well, I say incredible as in like how much they care for each other and they trust each other. I've never seen anybody successfully have a proper like good relationship apart from them.
I think VR chat takes it to another level in the sense that you can see body language, and there's people like me and a bunch of my friends that have phantom sense, so you can kind of touch each other. A lot of people see this as like a video game, but it's more of a social platform.
With online dating, right? It's usually just text, right? Or I guess you could call them on the phone call. But with VR, you get text. I mean, we still Discord call and we still message each other on Discord all day, basically. But when it comes to VR, I've 100% preferred talking to them on VR because I can see,
Definitely, we've actually met a couple people that have gotten married. And they've been like, it's been like an American guy and like a German girl or an English girl or an English guy that flies out. I mean, when you hear stuff like that, you're like, our distance isn't that big. It's not that great of a distance. So, I mean, I count us lucky.
Like a double cheeseburger, and they accidentally put an extra patty in it. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so tasty.
I'm gonna be the longest term relationship he got.
Dude, that's baby. You're so cute when you talk to me like that.
But so far, I've been the closest is what you would possibly call like friends with benefits or extremely close best friends. I have a short list of friends, but I'm great friends with them, and if things got further, then they got further.
I like guys like him. Or girls, too, for that matter. No, I haven't asked them.
Yet.
That depends on the 2 people that is trying to do it, but I will not say they should do it instantly, like day 1. Yeah, it can work if the connections and all that. There shouldn't be any like thinking. There should be like, okay, you can do that, but we are still together.
In VR chat, I met like a couple people who told me their stories about, how it failed for them having VR chat relationships. But I also heard stories like where they, were successful. So I guess it depends on the person. If you have a nice person dating like a rude or mean person or a user, it's not going to work out. But if you met a nice person and a nice person, you have that connection, I would say go for it,
Lots of people feel that VR chat relationships are just as viable as ones created in the real world. Plenty have found each other and plenty continue to search. Perhaps the line between real love and virtual love can disappear in a shared dream.
Yo, when are you gonna do the language thing? I need to have a rant about people asking me to teach them Japanese and then fucking giving me shit like this. Or Swedish. I get so... Not even this cheeseburger can help me out of this anger, dude.